As NATO and Afghan troops launched a new offensive against the Taliban in southern Afghanistan last week, the Sunday Telegraph joined them on a mission into an area riddled with hardcore supporters of the former regime. Before the military onslaught began in Kandahar province, a specialist team planned to venture out into 3 villages to assess what could be done to assist the return of people driven out by the fighting. The previous night, soldiers had killed 2 Taliban fighters laying an explosive device close to an outlying coalition strongpoint. What they did not know was that the Taliban had already planted a second device on the route the patrol was about to take. 7 Afghan soldiers had already walked over the spot when Private Frederick Couture trod on the hidden pressure plate and detonated the anti-personnel mine.
Jess!
The blast took off his left foot and shrapnel tore into his right thigh and face. In the initial confusion, soldiers took cover in a deep wadi below the path. Then they realised Couture was hit.
You're gonna be alright, Jess. Just look at this. You're gonna be alright, alright? No, no!
Yeah, no!
Jess, stop!
No! Captain Ramadullah, do you have any casualties on your side?
Is everyone okay?
Although other soldiers were just a few yards from the Canadian when the device went off, a quick check revealed they had escaped the blast. Badly injured, Couture struggled to sit up to survey the damage. 21 years old, he'd been in the army 3 years. "I'm 21 and I've lost my foot," he told his captain. "What am I going to do now?"
Charlie Scorpion 2, Roger, over. Charlie Scorpion 2, acknowledge. Ils veulent qu'on stabilise, qu'on l'évacue jusqu'à Summit. Charlie Scorpion 2, severely touch, over.
He's conscient. He's able to talk to us. He's got one leg severely injured, second leg with bad injury.
Okay. Charlie Scorpion 2, he's conscient. He can talk to us. He's got one leg severely
Both
injured,
legs, yes.
and one other.
Keep your eyes
Injured,
keep
over.
you guys looking, okay? We're gonna bring him back, and then when you see that we're back there, come back yourself, okay?
Ouais.
Un vrai civière, parce qu'on va l'amener avec un improvisé.
The first task for the team's medic was to apply a tourniquet above the point where Couture's foot had once been. Although he was bleeding heavily, the heat of the shrapnel had cauterized the wounds in his thigh, and they were quickly able to stabilize him. While 2 soldiers worked on Couture, their signaller radioed for assistance. After several minutes, the soldiers lifted their injured comrade onto a sheet of plastic and carried him down into the wadi below, where he was transferred to a stretcher. Hand, I can take it. Couture was passed up to more soldiers who had arrived on the path above, but those trapped in the wadi had to scramble up a sheer muddy bank to reach safety. As the stretcher team approached the waiting ambulance, they triggered a flare to indicate their position. After evacuating the other soldiers, Couture's colleagues risked their necks again. With no way of knowing whether there were other devices, they returned to the scene of the blast to secure the area and wait for engineers to arrive. The bomb was not only a personal tragedy, it was a blow to the coalition's overall strategy. NATO and Afghan commanders are relying on the local population to help prevent the Taliban regrouping. Only the day before, they met village elders from the area to try to convince them it was safe to return to their homes.
Some population and have a greater degree of security.
As NATO forces moved into position last week for the start of the new offensive, codenamed Operation Falcon Summit, joint Canadian and Afghan patrols pushed deep into the countryside in the Pashmul area north of the former Taliban stronghold of Panjwai. Picking their way through the ruins of buildings destroyed in earlier fighting, they were looking for signs of the hundreds of Taliban fighters who are believed to have moved into the area. But if the coalition is to be successful, it will need to get the local population on its side. To do that, it needs to convince them that the renewed fighting will not once more lead to the death of innocent people caught in the crossfire. If it fails, then there will be plenty more attacks of the sort that put Private Frederick Couture in hospital and ended his military career. This is Gethin Chamberlain for the Sunday Telegraph in Masam Garh, southern Afghanistan.